This is a big fall for a small camera. Huh? Okay, everyone good? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so now we go through the second method, Dakshin Yamje, exchanging oneself with others. So that one also, again, on the Bodhisattva's path, attaining the mind of a bodhicitta, what works in regards to contemplation has to do with implementation. So if we have hard time trying to develop an understanding in regards to that, in regards to continuity and all mother sentient beings and that and this and so on and so forth, then another thing that we are very good at doing is we are good at understanding each other. Yeah? So when there is suffering and there is a problem, then someone approaches you in regards to helping you, then you feel like, oh yeah, they understand me. And this is, I think, one universal language that we like to use, right? You feel comfortable when someone understands you. Oh yeah, oh, he understands me. Oh yeah, she understands me. Yeah, where you feel connected in some ways. And when the understanding is not there, then you avoid that. The understandings don't match. So that concept is there, and this is, I think, again, another what we call innate, sort of like innate feeling that we have in regards to care, love, especially in regards to what do we say, um, more devoted feelings that are genuine, sincere, and unconditional. So with every devoted feeling that are genuine, sincere, and unconditional, we can relate it in that way. So now it's all about, Dakshin Yamje is all about inviting that quality to develop the sense of widening the bubble, right? So this is Dakshin Yamje. Da, self. She, others. Then Jeba is to exchange. Yeah, so we in the West, we already have that concept. It's called, what is it, walking in someone's shoes or going into someone's shoes or something like that. What do you call? Being, yeah, put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? So this is, I think, very similar concept to Dakshin Yamje. So so now we same process again, all of the same process that we talked about yesterday, starting from recognizing the I, the self, the me, the my, and then recognizing the situation around us, the surrounding. That one is always there. So I think these both of these, the one that we talked this morning, then also what we are talking around now, both of them are very good meditation practices. So if you feel like you need to meditate but don't know what to meditate on, this is again something to meditate on, right? And this can be concentration meditation or analytical meditation or whatever you want to, whatever you feel more comfortable with. If it sounds sensible, if there is validation in it, then of course it can be, what do we say, concentrating meditation. But if it doesn't make sense, then it's contemplating meditation. So you contemplate to make it sense, whether it's figure out whether it makes sense or not. So definitely that is there. So same process, like I said, discovering yourself, always starting with discovering yourself. Then through discovering yourself, then you learn so many things. All of the things that we talked about yesterday, these are all discoveries that we make of our own existence. Then on top of the existence, what, why, where, how, in what regards, what am I achieving, what am I not achieving, where is the sense, where is the validation, where is the what we say, everything that we do, where's the validation in everything we do. So these all contemplation part. Then once you get the sense that, oh yeah, defining between conventional and ultimate, right? Defining between your existence and the concept of samsaric existence. So you utilize this samsaric existence to understand, the concept of impermanence, yeah? Death, sickness, aging, then birth, these things. Then also the method to discovering the true nature of your mind. Yeah? So this is through that contemplation, then I think once you understand yourself quite well, then you start to look around you and start to see, is there anyone like me? Yeah? Is there anyone like me who has problem of birth, who has problem with old age, who has a problem with sickness, all kinds of different sicknesses? Then at the end of the day, when the time comes, then problem with dying. There's nature of everyone. You start to see that, oh, there's no difference in that. The moment you label, oh, you are from west, I'm from east, you are from south, I'm from north. Yeah, the moment you start to label all of these things, then of course we are not concentrating on the reality, the innate sort of like the state of equanimity. We are not contemplating on that. The state of equanimity is, in the sense, the fine line between where everyone can connect. Yeah, and these are all to do with the truth, the Four Noble Truths. Tell me someone who does not experience the Four Noble Truths. No one there. Then samsaric nature of old age, sickness, death, birth. Show someone who is not experiencing that. Again, no, everyone. Then mental afflictions in regards to hatred, anger, that, this, desire, all of this. Show me someone who doesn't experience these things. Again, you can't find everyone in the same situation. We may say, oh, they are rich, he's poor, and this, that, this, he has good drinks, he doesn't have some good to drink, that and this. We differentiate based on that. But then the equanimity, the reality in the equanimity state. Rich get old, rich get sick, poor get old, poor get sick. Rich suffering, poor suffering. Maybe we say, oh yeah, the poor suffer less. But really? Mentally? Physically? There's no difference. So now we start to see that comparing these things, we start to see that the nature of the suffering exists throughout the whole lineage. Yeah? And then impermanence and death is reality, existence in every not just human beings, in every object also. Then the attachment towards these objects, same thing. When there is value, then there's attachment. When there's attachment, then there's greed, there's hatred, there's anger, so on and so forth. So the three poisons driving the whole, what we say, delusional aspects of the destructive emotions. That's also same. There's no difference between you and me in that. So now we start to see, they're not so different after all. We may look different, we may think different, we may act different, but at the bottom line, samsara, existence in samsara, there's no difference. So just like I said, when you learn to look at your mind like your own child, and then you learn to nurture that child, same thing starts to grow. When you start to learn that you have the ability, you have the what we say, the skill, the choices, all of these things. When you have wings, then you can fly. So the potential of having the wing of the wisdom and the method coming together to integrate your ability and finding out that everyone else is stuck here, then you say, there is a method, not just for me but for everyone. If you are all in the same situation, then why just and you need the help of each other, then why just Why just yourself? So I think one of the main questions that comes up during this practice is in regards to the selfishness. Why the selfishness? Figure out why. Is there any logic behind the selfishness? This is the contemplation part in the practice. Contemplation in seeing if you can actually validate the selfishness. Then in the practice, the true nature of that is there's no ultimate reason for the selfishness. The selfishness just exists because of condition, what do we call external conditions that exist in the moment. That's where the selfishness exists. Other than that, ultimately, what you're going to do with the selfishness? You can't eat the selfishness, you can't sleep, you can't do nothing with the selfishness. And on top of that, when you bring the concept of dependent origination, then you start to see, just as I depend on this, they depend on me as well. So this is the contemplation part in regards to achieving Dakshinyamje, exchanging oneself with others. Now, once we have fulfilled that, then comes the practice itself, which is actually living, what we say, embracing the concept itself of you having the ability to do it. And then I think there's where you say, okay, now application. Yeah, when you see your enemy, then you look at the enemy and you maybe first you look at his or her face, and then you little bit of anger arise. But then you look at his situation. The anger that tends to subside when you have all of these different logics. When you start to see the, like I said, the fine equanimity line between the links between the two beings that are this and that or that. Maybe his action or her action maybe triggers something, but then you look at the nature of the action. Same thing, out of the poison. So these are valid reasons why forgiveness, why generosity, why development of the what we say, of all of the paramitas start to come. And especially in this practice, then comes the last four paramitas. Thap, top, malam, yeshe. Thap is method, top is strength, malam is wish, and yeshe is the mindset to contribute. Now this last four is integrated into the Dakshinyamje. Thap, method, I have the method. Top, I also have the strength. Malam, I have the wish. Then yeshe, I have the right mindset to implement. So instead of sitting there like this and wishing someone will come and pull, what do you say, liberate you, which might be in some sense, if you're willing to wait, then if you're lazy and you have nothing else to do and you're willing to wait, then maybe makes sense. But other than that, Lama Zobar Mujhe always say dire situation. Yeah, dire, we say dire situation. If not now, then when? Because tomorrow never comes. This is we experience every day, right? Yeah, I'll do tomorrow. Yeah, next time. Yeah. But that one never comes. We know that it never comes. Then, like I said yesterday, what we say, the biography of an empty life. People who expect tomorrow, the biography of an empty life. That's where the biography of an empty life was written. Yeah, waiting 20 years, waiting, then 20 years passed. Then hoping, 20 years passed. Then I wish I could have done, then 20 years passed. Then finish. Life is gone. From one perspective, life is so fragile. Seems like that. When you think about all of the things in life, then you say, oh yeah, in 30 years I've done this and that and this and went here, went there, and that. But then it seems like one day you're closing your eyes, and when you open your eyes, gone. Yeah. Today you close your eyes, next time you open, you'll be in your 60s, 70s. Yeah. That's how it flickers by. So, dire situation. That's where the term dire situation comes. You have the opportunity, you have everything here, then why not utilize to do something about it? Especially in regards to samsara, when you are stuck in samsara and you have the ability, you have every. This is where this is where Buddha says, I can't liberate you, I can't wash your sins, what we say, your negative, this, I can't do that, I can't do. What I can do is I can give you the utensils, or what you call the things that you can utilize in order to achieve that. So when that is put in front of you, and then you say tomorrow, then you reach a point where you look back and then you think, oh, maybe could have made a difference. Especially when you look at your loved ones and you see them suffering, you see that, this, then, yeah, if I did, then maybe could have made a difference. But too late. So implementation is in regards to not utilizing your time to waste, utilizing your time to the full benefit that it can provide you. Expanding your mind to the point where it can benefit you by seeing the true ultimate nature and not being stuck, what do you call it, blindfolded. So there again, the same perspective of Dakshin Nyamje. So contributing this idea to the exchange of oneself with others. Now, if you learn to do with one person, then was it Shanti Deva in Bodhisattva Avatara say, what we like to do is we like to go out and conquer the world, conquer every person, every mind. But the easy answer is right there in front of you. Conquer your mind. Our inability to conquer our mind, even if you conquer the whole nation, still have a problem. So this is why it's called the wise path, because it's wiser to be able to, this is easier to control than to control like this. You go around trying to control people, you'll never be able to control people. In regards to wish, expectation, that this, even the expectation you're working with, trying to fulfill people's expectation around you, when are you going to fulfill? So putting, what do we say, full faith in yourself is the more important aspect of the practice, because you have the ability. Searching outside external ability, that one, like I say, one is, first of all, is based on cause and condition. Second of all, even if it does work, then it's momentary, because like I said, the concept of impermanence is flickering moment, just goes by like that. Then you're trying to conquer a moment. So at utilizing this in order to engrave the understanding of your ability, and then through that, now you start to see a difference in when you are, what do we say, doing something out of the regards in your own ability, and out of the regards in understanding what we were talking about, the fine line of equanimity. Yeah, no differentiation between you and me. You look at the person, no differentiation, same. Affliction same, karma same, conditioning same, Yeah, everything same. The reality we live in may be created in our own reality in some sense, but then again, the form of creation is same again. You create your own reality, I'm also creating my own reality. Where's the difference in that? I say mine is better, you say yours is better. Where's the difference in that? Same. So the dependence on external things now subsides, especially in regards to attainment, achievement, liberation. Yeah, the dependence on external things subside. Now this itself already you achieve so much joy and peace, so much peace. At the least you achieve so much peace. And I think it's a huge step forward into being able to achieve what we say, the ultimate, what we say, concept of what we call the Buddha nature of all things. So now, once develop that, then it's all about conditioning. Like I said, you have your karma, your own hand. You are the one who's moving the hand. You are the one who has the skill. You are the one who has the wisdom. You are the one who has the knowledge to do what you want to do. You give it to someone else, then someone is messing it up. It's like giving your life to someone else, right? Unless you have no expectation and you are like, okay, I fully give myself to you now, you can do whatever you want, then that's a different thing. But no, uh, my neck belong to me, my heart belong to me. Then someone play with my neck and my heart, then I get hurt. So that doesn't work. So now everything in your hands, so you shape, you develop, you create. The only thing you need is support of the wisdom and the logic and the means. And this, there you go. Buddha say, I've shown this. Utilization in your hand. So through that, then the compounding of the understanding between each and every being, not just human being, each and every sentient being, that starts to grow. Not at the basic level, but it grows on the ultimate level through feeling, genuine, sincere, unconditional feeling. Not just logic, also through feeling. Then exchange becomes so easy, much easier than we normally perceive. With a normal perspective, we try to apply the dakshin nyamje, it can mess us up. Right? Oh, I'm practicing dakshin nyamje. Oh, he needs help, she needs help, I provide help, here you go. Then instead of using the help in the right way, they're using the help in the wrong way, then big problem. So the contemplation, the method of contemplation in regards to achieving the Dakshanyamje, the practice of the exchange oneself with others, this one, I think the process. So in regards to that, then many stories again, especially stories of the Buddha's past life, many stories also. Buddha's first 5 disciples in one of Buddha's previous lifetimes was one was the mother tiger cub, mother tiger, then 4 cubs. Then the mother tiger constantly need to be with the cubs because the cubs can be easily, what do we say, harmed by other animals. So no time to hunt, no time to that, constantly giving milk. Then the mother very weak. Then the cubs are small, unable to do anything. Then when Buddha saw that, then Buddha Dakshinyamje, the realization of, oh yeah, no different from me, in the same situation. At least maybe I can do something. Great compassion arises through that concept. And this is where the offering of the flesh came. So these stories are there, whether they are true or not, whether they make sense or not. This one you can contemplate, but the stories are there. Yeah. You can take them as just as a story. Normally, a lot of stories that I'm very uncomfortable with in the. Not that they are not true. Maybe they are true. Maybe they are not true. I don't know. I can what we say prove or say anything in regards to it. But these are there. Then you meet someone like Lama Zopa Rinpoche who lives in that nature itself. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, Rinpoche truly sacrificed his life for, for all sentient beings, his students, his that, his this. Yes, I actually saw it with my own senses. Yeah, scientifically they say if you don't sleep for how many days, then you go into depressions, insomnia, that, this. I hardly saw Rinpoche sleep. Yeah, I traveled with Rinpoche. I always tell Amravati story. 10 days. I was barely standing. My awareness was barely working. And Rinpoche, whole night constantly puja for this person because this person happened, or puja for that person, whole night puja. Then whole morning his own practice. Then whole day teaching and meeting people and listening to their problems and giving them more and trying to solve their problem one by one by one. And these are all samsaric problems. It's not about enlightenment. So sacrificing life, I think, and this was done so gracefully, out of joy. There was no regret, like, oh, we do that. Yeah, I work for someone, then after I get tired, 5-6 hours, I get paid, but still near pain there, this not working out, that stress. So much complaint. I remember never. So for me, that itself was such an amazing teaching that, oh yeah, if you do live that, if you live by that philosophy, you can actually do it. It's just whether I decide or not, you decide or not to do it. So there are many, many, many living examples. Yeah, if you need proof, there are many, many, many living examples. Then the stories are stories, like I said, whether you want to depend on them or not, that is totally up to you. I depend on some stories I think who can but it's not the amazing things, the magical things in the stories. It's about the vigilance, the strength, the empowerment, the self-courage, the how much you are from inside that actually comes. That makes a huge impact. So anyway, these are things to contemplate again. So the practice of Dakshin Nyamje, I think, is through this contemplation. And this contemplation has, I think, the basis, like I said, humility. One of the core practices that every practitioner has to do is to be able to come down to the ground level. Yeah. Yes, it's the same thing, right? We say if you want to be if you want to be a good boss in a company, then you need to learn to understand the situation and the necessary things down there as well. So same thing here also. Yeah, if you want to achieve a lot, then you need to learn to be what do we say? Practice humility. I always say, if you are a practitioner and you have climbed a few paths and you don't know how to come back to the lowest path, then your practice already going sideways. There's many people like that who they give 20, 30 years of practice. They have taken 100,000 initiations. They have done 100,000 nyungnes. They have done retreats and that and this and that and all of those things. And at the end of the day, when you meet them, they're full of pride. Oh yeah, I've done this and I have this guru, this much guru, and I have that much guru, and I've done 100,000 that. And I started to look, practice really there are questionable. So the ability to come down to the basics is so much more important in your practice than to achieve a lot. Achieving, once you are able to do that, then the achieving comes from by itself. So even in actions, I always say, when it comes to practice, you can see practice in mindset, in action, in speech, in behavior. You can see practice in those things. It's a little bit hard to say in the mindset, because like Buddha said, you cannot say, just by looking at a person, you cannot say, oh, your mind is like this, oh, you are thinking like that, oh, you are thinking like this. This is the hard part. But other than that, the nature, that represents a totally different thing. No? My teacher, Thisur Muche, I studied under him maybe 19 years now, 19, 20 years. Such an amazing teacher. He passed away recently, about a month and a half ago. But one time, at that time, Gela was maybe in his 70s, early 70s. Then because in our study system, before you used to get what we say, your PhD degree, Geshe degree in 14 to 18 years, and now it takes up to 29, 30, 31, 32 years. So the extension of it. So by the 19th year, I was a little bit fed up of the studying and all of that. I went to Gela and I said, what's wrong with the system? Everyone before us got out early, and now here we are stuck. Still studying, 19 years. If it was in the olden days, I would already be Geshe. I'm still stuck. Then Gela look at me and he say, you think you finished studying? And Gela had this, can't you think this text, like this big text up here, folded over. He said, I'm still studying. You think you've finished? I was very competitive when I was younger, especially in my class. And there's a little bit of pride there because I was the youngest. Then on top of that, recognized as a Rinpoche, there's a little bit of pride there as well. All of these things, these things are there. And that was one of the times that, that really hit me. Who am I to say that, So the nature of it itself, I think, humility in practice also, so amazing. But well, I mean, in your general life is a whole different thing. There are manifestations where you have to be wrathful, manifestation, that manifestation. These are sort of other thing. But in reality, when it comes to there's no what do we say? Who are you kidding? Yeah, is that the word? Who are you kidding? So in reality, then it's like, who are you kidding? You're trying to make the world a fool. You're trying to make yourself a fool. Who are you kidding? There's nothing like that. There's no nature. The nature doesn't change in the way you can change it. No? If you had that ability, then you could say, oh yeah, oh yeah. But no. Your nature is changing because of you, not because of other people, because of your own decision. Whether that decision depends on other people or not, that is another thing. Like I said, that is your own concept. But in reality, you think about reality, then you think, who are you kidding? So anyway, this is the concept of the balance when it comes to practice, that you need to have that level of humility, and the level and the ability to, not just the level of humility, the ability to come down, always come down. So that is, I think, an important aspect of the practice. When is
so you know what effectively on the basis of meditation, of reflection, helped you to really become more humble? And what meditation do you recommend to become more humble?
More humble. Humility, I think there are many concepts in developing humility. But I think one of the more important aspects when it comes to, I mean, there isn't one where you say, oh yeah, you sit down and you meditate, and then you meditate in this way, then you become more humble. I don't think there's one specific thing like that. I think it is the combination of understanding all of this. We say, there's a saying, right? The more you know, what is it? The more you know, the less. Yeah, the more you know something, the less you know that you have more things to know, or something like that. So I think it's a compilation of that. That is one important aspect, that there is always, constantly an ability within you which you pride upon, but then there's always someone above that. This pride that we are working with, if you question the pride, what are you so proud of? In meditation, that is, I think, one of the more important aspects. When pride comes, then you say, what are you so proud of? Oh, I'm proud of this achievement and that achievement, this achievement. Why are you proud of that? Oh, he does this and achieve that, and I become a millionaire, and I become a billionaire, and that. Then at the end of the day comes, so what? You have made millions, so what? Are you changing the world? Are you liberating sentient beings from samsara? Where's your impact? Right? And if you are liberating sentient beings from samsara, then why you are questioning about your pride? They say, bodhisattvas, they say, Lama Zopa Rinpoche says, your enemies are your greatest gurus. Without those enemies, how are you going to practice? You need enemies in order to practice. So same thing, you need sentient beings in order to practice. So where's the pride in that? Without sentient beings, you wouldn't be achieving enlightenment, no? Dependent origination. So I think the meditation, basically what I'm trying to say is, one concept is that, and one concept is the intertwine between dependent origination. Yeah? The only reason why the pride is there is because the self-cherishing view is so high, and the self-cherishing views, the concept of the self-cherishing view is, oh yeah, independent I, non-dependent on anything. The independent I is over, on top. Yeah, there's no relationship. Oh yeah. But the concept of dependent origination, when you bring it in, then there's no independent I. The independent I it doesn't exist. The I that exists is dependent. Yeah, if you have a good household and you are rich, then you have worker, sweeper, then you have cook. Yeah, then you have the ones who clean your toilet, then you have the ones who are, your assistants, assistant, yeah, assistant. So you have different levels of job, and then you say, cleaner, just cleans the dirt. But without the cleaner, how is your house going to be clean? Dependence is there. Yeah, 2 days that cleaner disappears, then everything's starting to smell, looking dust here, dust there. You're dependent. Your cleanness is dependent on that. So same concept, that the source of all of this existence itself is codependent, right? So I think this is again a different implementation in regards to developing humility, that there is nothing above or under. Coexistence is what makes things run. Then of course, if you practice the concept of the bodhicitta that we have been talking about yesterday and today, this morning, then in regards to that, then again there's no pride. You're in samsara, you are suffering, you're if you create the wrong conditions, then you're going down, and then that also nothing to be proud of. So I think working with all of these different kinds of perspectives does give you a grasp on understanding reality. And reality is that there's no independent I. Yeah. So working with what do we say, with developing an I, yeah, the I that exists, that is dependent, originated based on dependence, that truly brings I think the humility up, and that truly brings the level of what do we say. But then sometimes this is why again I bring in the practice of the middle way, because sometimes you push yourself too much down, then right? So there's always a balance. You don't go into nihilism or eternalism. True grasping of the I is so amazing. That is eternalism. Oh no, the I doesn't exist independently, doesn't exist as all. That's nihilism. So it exists. Yeah. So that balance is important again. Yeah, makes sense?
Yeah, I have one more. It's a very personal question.
Yes, yes,
Give
yes.
me a second, please.
So then, I'm turning 28 soon.
Ah,
Then I'm proud for so long, and I'm genuinely very curious. What pushed you to eventually have to look at your pride and say, "Oh, I have to do something about it"?
a lot of the things that I was known for, very momentary. Yeah, momentary. Yeah, didn't last. I was proud of so many things in my life that now I look back, nothing to be proud of. When I achieved the Rikchung degree, the Rikchung degree out of 400 people, selected, something to be proud of. Oh yeah, and debated and that and this. But now I look back, what? So what? You come first when you are in kindergarten. You come first. Oh, pride. Yeah, the teacher give you what you call sticker and star and that and this and all of these things. Yeah, yeah. Maybe if you are a girl, then the crown. Then if you are a boy, then king crown. But now you look back, then what? This is a flickering moment. So most of the things that we are proud of are in flickering moments, which is useless in some sense. If you want to be proud, you be proud of attaining enlightenment. Now that is a long-lasting pride. This is something you can truly be proud of. You liberate all sentient beings from samsara. Now that one you can truly be proud of. Yeah, no problem. It's not that pride is bad. It's that the pride is senseless. Try to build some sense into the pride. If you find the pride that is existence sensible, meaningful, logical, then who am I to say don't be proud? Definitely be proud of it. But if it's something for momentary, like then what? What are you going to do with that pride? So within my own experience, yeah, I was recognized, reincarnation, that, this. When I first came to Kupan, we only had 2 or 3 reincarnations. Oh, I was one of them. Then I went to Sera. We had over 5,000, 6,000 monks. And out of the 6,000 monks, we have over 200 reincarnations. Now the pride going down. That's where the competition started to come up. Now I need to compete. I need to be known as the best. Then competition is not easy. You have to live up to expectation. 1 year is not good enough. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. How long can you keep it up? Then you're just putting yourself in more chains. No freedom. Then one time I went to Dalai Lama's Bodh Gaya. We went to Dalai Lama's teaching in Bodh Gaya. In Sera, when Dalai Lama comes, then we get VIP pass. All the Lamas, we get VIP pass. Then we go to Bodh Gaya, then only the high Lamas get the VIP pass. Then we're normal, we're going in the normal line. So pride is so based on the conceptual view that we have. So it's changing, ever changing. You can't, basically what I'm trying to say is you can't depend on it. And if you cannot depend on the something, then what's the point in it, right? That is something that we discover in our life. Yeah, the people you bring near and the people you push away, and everything, you work and that and this and everything you're trying to work around is in regards to how much I can depend on things. Same thing with Dharma. You come to Dharma, you listen to Dharma, you think, how much can I depend on it? How much sense does it make? How long is it going to help me? So something like that, I think, right? You start to see in the flow, the nature of reality changes. Yeah. One day when you go to a monastic, you go to a monastery, then you are known, oh Lama, you put up. Then you go to a church festival, you go there, then no one knows you, you're down there. The nature changes. And that nature is not the ultimate nature. There's no ultimatism in it. This is why I say it is momentary, And on top of that, when you think about the dependence, then everything is there. Make sense?
Do you think pride harms others? Do you think when I'm proud, that harms others?
That one, I think, difference. Some pride can harm others. Some pride maybe doesn't harm others. There is difference, but then it's less about harming others and more about harming yourself, right? Even though pride doesn't harm others, it definitely harms yourself. Like I said, when the pride is there, then you need to live up to the pride. Then when you need to live up to pride, then you need to go into competition. Then when you go into the competition, then you need to live up to expectation. And when you need to live up to expectation, then basically now you are a puppet to other people. So that is there. So whether it harms others or not, this is, I think, little bit can be discussed, can be contemplated upon. But oneself, definitely there is harm. The more harm, the more emotional dependence. The more emotional dependence, that's where the hatred and the desire and the attachment and anger and all this ignorance and so on and so forth, these are all coming up from there. Yeah, so like that. Yes.
Yeah, I have a personal question. Just like 2 days ago, I was in a home and I want to practice. And it seems like there is another thinking or mind in my head and say, oh, you have to lay down to watch the short video. And I know this is not good. I have to
Short what?
Short video.
Video,
TikTok, like
yeah.
TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah. It is very attractive to me. So I know this is not good for me. And but another voice in my mind said, "Oh, don't worry, just stay there 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours,
Mm.
and after duty, maybe I can practice or learn like sutra or other things to practice myself or improve myself." But another voice said, "Oh, just lay down there, watch the TikTok 3 hours, and
Yes.
it is just happen."
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
later, I'm so regret, but
Yes.
the
Yes.
next day still like
Yes.
this.
Yes.
So how to deal with this kind of emotion?
Yes. Yes. I think one thing is defining. When we define something good, something bad, then that definitely, one is habitual. So from the way I'm seeing it, you are practicing definitely, but whether that practice is useful or not, that is a completely different thing. Practice is utilizing your time into building habituation. That is practice basically. So there's good practice, there's bad practice. Right?
I enjoy. I enjoy. I know this is not good, but I enjoy just in that moment.
Yes, yes.
TikTok is coming to your
Yeah.
mind.
Well, I think there are benefits to it. I'm not going to say there are no benefits to it, because a lot of people, they depend on TikTok to make their life, to to do that, to do this. Some people gather information. One of my friends, they said, "Oh, now Nepal, TikTok is much better than Google, because you can get all the information on TikTok." So they have this concept. So anyway, I think it's about choosing practice. Yeah. Whether it comes to choosing senseless practice, meaningless practice or not, that one is two different things. Yeah. You have two people who uses YouTube. Yeah. One person uses YouTube to watch reels, just maybe short videos of that and this and this and that. Another person uses YouTube maybe to listen to His Holiness teaching and contemplate and meditate. So utilization is in your hands. I think TikTok is same. I'm sure there are great. I'm sure there are clips of His Holiness on TikTok and all of that. And in regards to practice, also, I'm sure there are many information in regards to how to practice on TikTok as well. This is there.
But I think this is like a drug. You might. I, for me, I think it's not good, and it's like a drug and just a desire to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
So
struggling.
yes, yes.
On the one side, I want to practice,
Yeah.
and another side, somebody just want to push into like.
Generally dealing with so this is why I said look at it as a practice, right? So generally dealing with practices is, you need to deal with it slowly. If I tell you today, oh, tomorrow you sit for 4 hours and meditate on the view of emptiness, oof, that's not easy. Yeah, your mind wouldn't want to do that. You will be like, oh, no. But if I said, okay, how about 5 minutes? Then you think, oh, okay, that's possible. Right? You say, oh, how about 2 minutes? Oh, yeah, that one, no problem. After I've said 5 hours, then 2 minutes is nothing, right? So, yeah, okay, I'll sit 2 minutes. So it's about influence, I think, personal influence. In regards to practice, there's a lot of play in regards to personal influence, because addiction, your mind, conversion, dependence on momentary happiness, this is what you are experiencing. It's momentary happiness, then later there's regret. So that is the concept of momentary happiness, a happiness that does not last, a joy that does not last. Yeah. So this is, you already have it figured out. You say, okay, it's momentary, right? It's not lasting. And there's regret. Yes, there's a lot of regret later on. So that one you already established, that one, okay, good. So now you use that establishment in order to not say, oh, completely stop, but slowly control less and less. This is how it works, I think, in regards to addiction, especially in regards to mental addiction. Slowly. Yeah. So you say, okay, instead of saying I'll watch TikTok and 5 minutes later I'll practice, you say I'll practice for 5 minutes and then watch TikTok or something like that. Yeah. There's a conversion of the method. Then slowly expand that time. Yeah. From 5 minutes, you say, okay, 10 minutes. You start reading a book that is very interesting. then that 10 minutes might turn to half an hour reading.
Mhm.
So this changes in that way, I think. And then of course it's also about enjoyment. If you don't enjoy practicing, this is why I said yesterday also I was focusing a lot on joy. If you don't enjoy practicing, then it's meaningless, and therefore you enjoy TikTok, and therefore the mind, no matter what, is going to go to TikTok rather than practice. So you need to know what you enjoy in practice. What is so enjoyable in practice that you enjoy? Today you're sitting here, you've been sitting here for what? How many hours now? 2-3 hours listening to me talk. Maybe you enjoy it. That's why you're attentive. Oh yes. I don't think you thought about TikTok between that, right? So the joy, when there is that kind of enjoyment, there's definitely a less usage on the other side. So developing joy is important. If you find joy in practice, then slowly. When this happened to me when I was studying philosophy texts. I had philosophy texts on one side. I had Harry Potter on the other side. Yeah. So every time, tired.
Yeah.
And that became more and more interesting. The stories, the storytelling inside became more and more interesting. So now I was less and less here, more and more here. This is the concept, not the enjoyment. When you start to see the enjoyment in something, that. But then I work, like I said, the exact opposite method. I say, okay, I have Harry Potter here, but then I'll finish this chapter. Then after that, I'll read how much I can. Whatever time I have, I'll read. Then giving yourself more and more to do over here, that one slowly. Then you learn to be okay with the minimum time that you have here. You learn to appreciate the minimum time you have over here. So that, again, is a method, I think. You can try, see. Make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And another question, and now we have the week plan. This week I have to do how many book I need to read and about the meditation, and I plan maybe just watch the 30 minutes the TikTok per day, and yeah. From maybe 1 week or 2 week, I insist very good, and the plan already I can accomplish very well. But the third week is totally
Free.
free. Yeah, before maybe just a 1 hour TikTok video, but the third week, 4 hours and 5 hours, I just be attracted into. It seems like before I was here and with my plan and become better and better, and 2 weeks later and just drop down. So for my thinking, I think this is the life make me balance, because two weeks ago I'm better, and the third week I have to be very worse. So
you need to
this is
distract
make me
yourself.
very, yeah.
Yeah, this is the concept, I think. Our now third concept introduction is distraction. Yeah, distraction. So if you don't like reading, then you distract yourself from reading, right? This is what we do. Yeah, phone and TV and all of this. This is distraction, because you don't like to read, so distraction comes in life. I think exploration is an important aspect of distraction. Distraction doesn't have to be bad. You are in Nepal, there's many places to see, many places to go. So if you get 1 week off, plan something like that. Explore, meet new people. That one, now you are also discovering as well as you are distracting from one side. Distracting from TikTok and exploring new things. Exploring new ways of enjoyment. And this one you have to do, I think. And not, like I said, distraction not always necessarily a bad thing. So explore more, meet new people, explore new places, new concepts, new tradition, new culture. Think about those things. A lot of things you can do, even in regards to exercise also. Learn something new. Playing guitar, I don't know, rock climbing, I don't know, Many things you can do. So this is the thing about the world right now. You have so much things you can do, full of them. A lot of new things you can learn. Cooking, yeah. I do painting sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I play guitar. Sometimes that. Sometimes there's so many things you can learn, which are not all bad. So distract yourself away from things that are unnecessary. Learn something new. Learn a new skill. And it can be for enjoyment. Like I said, joy is a big part of all of this. Something joyful. Traveling, hiking, So something joyful. Distract yourself with something joyful that you like to do. Now you're already, and then once you find joy in something else, this one starts to disappear a little bit more and more. I used to be addicted with what do you call Mario. You know Mario? So one of my friend had this what do you call in those days Nintendo Game Boy. Yeah. Then whole day Saturday we didn't get to play. He didn't let us play, but just watching him all day like this. All day gone. So then we used to make all of these different, when we were kids, we make all of these different games in our minds, like hide and seek, and these are all made up by. So we used to do, but anyway, something like that. So I think the distraction part is important, but then there's need to be joy in the distraction part that can truly cover the other side. So explore in that way. I think learn new things. Life is still young. Life is good. You are in Nepal. You have many new things in Nepal as well that you can learn about culture, about that. I mean, depends what you like. Right? That's why I said distraction has to do with where there's joy. So what you like to do, you can discover. There are a lot of things that you wanted to do but never got the time to do. Now you have time. You can do it. Doesn't always have to be practice or meditation. No, that's also a little bit too. If you do a little bit too much of that as well, then discouragement also, because there's boredom in that as well. Balance. Yeah. And stuff.
No, 20 minutes.
I need to go to the bathroom. I go bathroom, come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can go here, you can go there, feel free.
Where?
Up to you. We have one here.
Oh, okay.
I can adjust the
Occupy,
camera.
I
That
go
is
down.
weird.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I didn't want to put on. Okay? No, okay? Okay? Okay. Okay, so what else? Ah. So yeah, so anyway, so through that, I think the means of practice changes again, like I said, depending in accordance with our mindset, in accordance with our comfort level, in accordance with what makes sense to us, in accordance with how we perceive things, and basically in accordance with our conventional perspective also. Then the practice of developing bodhicitta can change from time to time in what order, how you want to develop it, what are the more important aspects of developing, how to develop, so on and so forth. I think so this Dashin Yamche is more of a, what do we say, a harder approach, I think, for me, definitely a harder approach, but then like I said, it depends a lot on perspective and how what kind of approach we are comfortable with. So that is there. Sorry. So that is there. Then now I think now once the core establishment of the importance of the practice of bodhicitta is there, then like I said, the dependence on practicing itself, and then the method of practicing, again, the development of joy within the method of practicing, when that happens, then no one can, what do we say, you become sort of like a what do we say, immovable force, right? They become like a mountain. They say one of the things that the example of they give when they say you need practice, they say you need to practice like a mountain. Yeah, mountain, tall, great, structure. Wind cannot move them. So unshakable, right? Immovable, yeah, immovable, unshakable. So thing like that. So practice has to be in that form. So Ridandave, yeah, Ridandave Nyamne, in that case, then the practice has to be immovable, right? So that one only comes through joy. Again, I stress a lot on the aspect of joy, because that is the true form, the true nature of practice, only developed through the joy. I think that is always there, and this one I think we can see in our daily life now. So now coming down to the point, I think within the different stages of the practice, the Bodhisattva practice. Now, of course, within the path and ground, there are 5 stages of the 5 stages of the Bodhisattva ground. Yeah, Tsolam, Jolam, Tholam, Gomlam, Minolam. Yeah, Tsolam is the path of accumulation, and this one is very clearly in regards to conditioning, right? So if you don't have the merits, then you need to conditions to have, you need to condition the merits to be able to do something, right? So if you want, the same thing with money, right? If you want to, I always say, if you can help 100 people $100, then if you want to help 1 million people, then you need to create the conditions to make $1 million. That's the concept, right? Great benefit you can do with that concept as well. So same thing. So if you want to proceed onto the path, then you need a lot of merit in regards to our afflictions, in regards to our emotions, destructive emotions, in regards to how to deal with our own mind, and in perceiving, and and then also in regards to understanding where the joy comes from in regards to practice. So all of this compiled together, then Tsoklam, first one, accumulation. You accumulate the merits and the necessary things. Tsoklam, my teacher used to say, Tsoklam is like going into war. When you go into war, you can't go into war naked. You go into war naked, then you are not a warrior, right? You go into war, you need the right bulletproof vest, you need the gun, you need the shoes, you need the right hat, you need everything. So when you have everything, then you can confidently go into war, right? So same thing. If you want to go into the practice of the Bodhisattva, you need a lot of different things. In regards to the things that you need, I think mostly concentrate or evolves around the first six paramitas, and these are your main, what do we say, laksa. Laksa is your main things you can go into the practice with. So otherwise, if you go into practice without any of that, then you go onto the path, then of course you're not going to succeed, right? It's like I said, going into war naked. Yeah, it's just going to end up dying rather than achieving something. So same thing, same perspective. So cholam, then jorlam. Once you have everything prepared, then you go into the jorlam is what part of arriving, or they say something like that. Jorlam. Then cholam, jorlam. Then thonglam. Thonglam is the path of seeing, where the true accomplishment of utilizing the view of emptiness becomes extremely important. Yeah. So now we are not just working with general level of the eye. There's always subtle and gross. Everything is subtle and gross. Even emotion, subtle and gross. Right? Even thought, subtle and gross. Gross? Yeah, subtle and gross. Yeah, subtle and gross. So, yeah. So gross emotion, subtle emotion. Yeah, even thought, gross thought, subtle thought. Yeah, sometimes thoughts just pop up and go. Those are what? Subtle thoughts. Gross thoughts are what normally, oh, the I, the me, the my. This is the gross thoughts. This is why I say, we always experience the sparks of bodhicitta here and there when we see all of this suffering and all of this. These are subtle thoughts. It's there. Bodhicitta is there in subtle thought. But then when it comes to gross, then we are unable to develop. So now, Thonglam, you're dealing with the view of emptiness, truly realizing the concept of the view of emptiness in order to negate the self-grasping attitude. That on the gross level. Right? So now Thonglam Gomlam. Now you go into the path of meditation, Gombelam. Yeah. Now you proceed into the subtle path, more subtle path. Yeah. The example they give in the sutras and the sutras is in regards to cloth. When you're washing cloth, you have what is it? Tima. Tima is what? Stain, gross stain and subtle stain. Gross stain go like this, goes away. And subtle stain you put into the sorop. What is sorop? What do you call sorop? Sorop like what? You call sorop? Yeah, soap. Yeah, then go. Then very subtle. What do you say? That's a tima. Stain. Yeah, very subtle stain. Then even if you put inside the soap, not good enough. Yeah, microscopic they say, right? Now in microscopic, this one, then you need to put into air, what are all these air things. When they, I went to one of those shops where they take clothes, what do we say? No. People contribute.
Charity.
Yeah, charity cloth. So they take charity cloth and then they washing and this dyeing and that and this, and they put through this machine where the air pressure come. There's I don't know what light that kills all the whole process. Now come out like new, completely new, no stain at all. So there are levels of what do we say, of things that we need to do in regards to the level of stain there is. So same thing. Yeah. So practice also same thing. There's gross, on the gross level there's a practice, subtle level there's extreme subtle, there's a practice also. So now you go into the Thonglam. First 3 levels of the Thonglam, you're already entering the tantric path. This is where the tantric path comes in. Yeah. So practice of the tantric path comes in. My teacher always says, so every practice in the tantric path has to do with understanding the 3 principal aspects of the path. At the Thonglam, at this path of seeing, then there's actually realization of the 3 principal aspects. It's not just a conventional understanding. Conventional understanding is before that. So tantric path, my teacher clearly said, tantric, in order to be in the tantric path, you need to understand. Yeah, we say nyoa is sort of like experience, experiential understanding. So if not if not Sojegi Nyoa, if not experiential understanding without effort, you need at least experiential understanding through effort. Sojegi Nyoa. Yeah. So tantric path, this is a must. Yeah. Experiential understanding through effort in the three principal aspects you need in regards to truly utilize the full potential of the tantric path. And that is there in the Bodhisattva way as well. And the reason why it's there is to work with very, very, very subtle levels of the stain. You can completely let go of the I in the general state. But then what about when you are sleeping? When the mind is relaxed? Yeah, when there's strong, when there's no strong emotional trigger. There's many states like that that is explained in the tantric path, like when you're having sexual intercourse, you go into this bliss state sort of thing. In that state, then the subtle I is coming out. This very subtle I keeps coming up. Then gyawa is when you go into operation and they give you injection, and then you are like, very subtle states of the I is coming out. Even though the awareness seems like the awareness is completely not there, subtle states of the I is coming up. Then one of the funny things is they say when you are sneezing, I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but then when they're sneezing, they also say the subtle state of the I is coming up.
State of mind or state of I?
The recognition of the I. Yeah, subtle state recognition of the I. So anyway, grasping attitude, strong grasping attitude. When you feel blissed out, then this blissed out is the existence of the I feeling the blissed outness. No, in nature, the blissed out, is just like what is it, temporary, as long as well as in the reality itself. But then it's when it comes to the feeling, it's an ultimate state. It's like beyond anything sort of thing. And this feeling of the beyond anything, this one is done by the I. So these are very subtle states of the I that Tantric talks about. Yeah, the what is something like the generally produced state of bliss or something like that we talk. So there's many levels of these states of bliss. So in regards to completely negate the grasping attitude, you need to deal with the grasping. Is same like I said, stains. To deal with the stain, you need all these different measurements to completely clean out everything. In regards to imprint as well, pakcha means imprint. Yeah, it is like I always like to give the example. When I was in Australia, I worked on the garden. Then if you want to clear, then you need to pull all the roots out, roots from the roots. What do you call that? Yeah, the bush grass shrub, whatever you call it. Yeah, this one you need to pull from the root, all the roots you need to pull out. Otherwise what? Otherwise we put something nice, then after 1 month the grass again growing back. Useless. We put all this effort, but then it's like useless because then it grows back again. So you need to pull everything out from the root. Same thing when you're dealing with the grasping attitude. Subtle level, you need to be able to clean from the subtle level, otherwise it's going to pop up again. And this is the problem, right? When there are seeds, yeah, then starts to grow. Where there are imprints, then starts to grow again. So tantric path is dealing with the, like I said, it has already taken the grass off the top, cutting already done. Now you're digging into the roots. Every single root you're taking out. This is dealing with the grasping attitude on that level. And this is main focus of the tantric path. So that is also in regards to implementation. And if you have the backing of the three principal aspects, what this whole course is about is one of the principal aspects. It's not all three, but it's one of the principal aspects, which is bodhicitta. So if you have the backing of bodhicitta, then it becomes so much easier to implement. It's like nowadays, when I was working, nowadays you have machine that you put on the ground like this, then you can see where the roots are on the machine. It's like that, no? When you have bodhicitta, you are able to, it makes things easier to pull things out. Yeah, the innate, what do we say, grasping attitude, the very subtle level. These are easier to pinpoint when you have that that existing of bodhicitta. Too much? Good? Enjoying? Yeah, good. Okay. I think we stop now. Yes.
So I understand. So just to understand a little bit better the subtle state of I, yeah. A gross state of I is based on my emotions, my sensations, my gross conditioning, right? Moment by moment, yeah. Then subtle state of I is grasping to state of mind.
It depends. Yeah. So if I give you easy example, it would be like my awareness in what I've achieved has to do with the grasping attitude, right? So oh yeah, I'm good looking, I'm that, I'm this, I'm pretty, I'm so on so forth. This is gross level. Yeah, there's a sort of like gross level of the existing of the I. Then you practice and you say, oh yeah, no, I need to let go, others before me. Yeah. So this is there. Yeah. But then challenges come. Yeah, someone comes and punches you. There's a little bit, not completely subtle, but a little bit of a gross level, not fully gross as well, but something that is there but doesn't come out. That one starts to come out. Yeah, someone punches you suddenly. But then relax. So this is gross, but not completely gross. Yeah. Then goes little bit, even more, little bit deeper. Yeah, is I think in memory, in reminders, and in all of these states, right? This exists where we are sitting like this, and suddenly, oh, I forgot that. Oh, I have to do this. Right? So this is more subtle. Right? This is not always there. It comes and goes like this, reminder sort of thing. Then again, the awareness is there, but the full potential of the awareness is not there. Like when you are watching a movie or when you are in massage, you are going yeah, it seems like your awareness is the whole attention, the concept, everything gone into the joy of the existing of the I. That joy itself is again grasping to the I.
So we're letting go of the conceptions of the self
Mm-hmm.
in these processes, and the subtleness of the I, as you describe it, is based on how easily or difficult it is triggered.
Not necessarily. I think what do we say, within the suffering we have what is it, dunga dunga jue dunga cheba duje ge dunga. So suffering of change. You studied, right, in Kuba? What is the third one?
Pervasive.
Pervasive. Yeah. So all pervasive suffering, again, the I is existing there. Yeah. I mean the gross, not the gross, subtle level of the I is existing there continuously. But then whether the awareness is there or not, that is completely different. So many levels in regards to that. There's something I think very interesting. You study Madhyamika. You go deeper into the study of emptiness, the view of emptiness. You study Madhyamika. There you find out all of these different.
And so, is there a relationship between a more subtle state of mind and a more subtle sense of self?
Subtle state of mind is different from the subtle sense of I.
So how are they related?
Subtle state of the mind is in regards to like concentration or awareness. That is more subtle state of mind. Right? Whereas the subtle state of the I is in regards nothing to do with the awareness. It's in regards to the potential of the I coming up, and how it's inflicted.
So even a gross mind can perceive a subtle state
of
I.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I never studied like the Tantra. I've just read about it more conceptually, and I guess many things are they seem very like esoteric, like it's just very guru related, passed down. And when you're talking about when you're in these like high blissed out states and that I is coming out during, I guess, different practices, I'm sure there's many. What is like the application, or what are you? Is it just the are you looking to say be aware of that to be able to then be in this bliss state and remove that, or what is like the, I guess, approach or?
So within the tantric path, there's the 10 tantric paths, 10 levels of tantric path. Then each and every tantric 10th level of tantric path utilizes different methods to deal with different kinds of the gross level, I mean the subtle level of the attachment or the grasping attitude. Starting from, I think, starting from the implementation of the Four Noble Truths at the very within the subtle, I mean within the subtle there's the gross, subtle, and the within the gross, I mean anyway, so there's a lot of these things like subtle goes like that. So anyway, at the beginning, implementation of the Four Noble Truths is there. Then slowly going deeper into it, then the concept of renunciation is also one of the more important aspects of the working with the working with the what is the subtle level of the I. Then later on, going much more deeper, they say the extreme subtle level of the I think has to do with joy. So even though I say you need joy in practice, at the extreme level, this tantric practice, so the extreme level has to do with joy. And it's not just joy, I think it's sensible joy, and a joy that arises with sense, where your mind completely does not work anymore. It's like when you go on drugs and you are like, some state of awareness, maybe the capability of the state of awareness is not there, but the awareness of blissed outness is there, something like that. I think something like that. I have no experience, but something like that, right? So in those states, then dealing with the Nyingma Rinpoche will say the clear light nature of the mind itself, realizing the clear light of the nature, realizing the implementation of the what is the four kayas, how we say the four kayas. Yeah, you studied about the four kayas. So the implementation of the four kayas engraved with the concept of the clear light nature of the mind. This is again different concepts that you can apply in dealing with these kinds of these levels of gross attitude. I mean not gross, subtle attitude. So this one definitely I don't have any experience. I've studied them and quite intense study as well, I think. And this one definitely, if you're interested, I'll definitely encourage you to study, because studying and practicing is two completely different things. Studying the tantric path is okay, but practicing it, like I said, you need renunciation, bodhicitta, and the view of emptiness. If not, what is it? If not through effort, realization through effort, I mean effortless realization, at least realization of the effort is necessary there.
And like, I'm just curious, in practice, is there like an actual, like, are you looking to like induce these states of minds intentionally to
Yes.
work within them, right?
Yeah, that is
like
there.
While you're there, you're essentially doing what a practice maybe previously would be done, where you're just in a state where you're not recognizing the higher. It's not subtle, right?
Yeah, that is there. I think this is depend on people. Some people necessary to experience in order to deal with it. Some people not necessary in order to experience to deal with it.
Yeah.
This is, I think, different levels of mindset, different levels of capability, right? So there are definitely practices that deal with, for example, sexual desire. We say when I don't know, the state where your where your bliss outness comes during sexual intercourse, that is also in there. That is a state where the subtle I is popping up, and therefore integration of the practice during that time, that is also there. So, and then also in regards to death also, I think one of the main practices of death in regards to fear is also has to do a lot with the subtle I. The whole fear in regards to facing death right in front of you, the subtle I becomes so strong that it keeps on popping up. So they utilize that moment where it keeps on popping up to really. So that's why they say, what do we say? in the practice. When you read the 12 dependent links, yeah, we say what do we say? The final moment of death is one of the best moments where you can actually overcome in all of your realizations because of that, because the subtle moments coming up. So there are many moments like that described, but then there are a lot of practitioners who also don't depend on that and can utilize the practice of tantra, not going into the experience itself as well. So that one is different practice, different mindset, different level. Okay, wisdom. Okay.